walk with me, journey with me, and please, please be patient with me. I'm gonna get this out, okay? Thursday night, I went to bed super early. It was 8:30 when I was laying down, and I think I was probably knocked out by 9:30, 10. I took my meds that helped me sleep because I don't know if it's just being an ex-soldier, a veteran thing, but I have difficulty just going to sleep. So sometimes I could stay up for 24 hours, sometimes more, like 36 hours. And I don't even know how many hours I done been up now, because the Lord woke me up Friday all the way at 10. Of course, I was up at like 5 with the cat for a second. And then he was he was doing all right. I had got awoken by a call at like 9:30. So I just ended up staying up and just did my household things. And then I was busy all day editing videos and cooking. And then once my videos was all in the clear, no copyright, I ended up laying down. It was like 8:30 when I had gotten to bed. But when I tell you, I ain't been to sleep since Thursday, since Friday morning. Yeah. So I went down a big old rabbit hole, first on YouTube with the Mr. Millions Facebook lady, and the chick on YouTube only had to part 12 of the story time. So child, I had to go on TikTok, and I'm thinking it's only gonna be like maybe 5-6 more. I don't think I ever seen anybody on TikTok that got to the heights she got to. And she was like 47, 51, I don't know. After she finished, I guess, as much as the story as she was given at that point, I gave up on it. But I just know that a change is coming, and it's about to be a humongous change, a humongous shift. And see, that's what happens when you are coming out of a dead season into a season that life starts to form again. So basically from winter to spring. And it was only just a couple of days ago that I was saying how dead everything looked. But now look at this. When I get big to the house, I'm gonna look up what those bushes are, because they are gorgeous. And it's a place nearby that has those bushes like that lined up, and some are pink and some are white, but yeah, they're beautiful. All those videos, all those text messages that she had, all the receipts, everything that she said, it was a major trigger for me, and I think that's what made me keep going down the hole. But then I just had the thought that, well, maybe it's time I share my story. Because this other chick I seen, she said people will looked at her and said she's so innocent looking. What could she have bad she could have done, or anything she'd been through? But my motto is, I'm the epitome of looks can be deceiving, and don't judge a book by its cover. My defense mechanism is to block out traumatic things that I have been through. And the easiest way for me to do that is to push through with whatever is immediately important that needs to be done, such as finding a job or working, going to school, and of course, a major deal that happened in my life was, having children. I wanted to take a different route home, but because I really didn't feel like challenging this little bit of hill on the scenic walk home, I ain't went this way since probably when fall turned to winter, honey. And like I was saying with the keeping it pushing, again, I don't know if it's a military thing, but like my hip has been doing a little thing, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, but yeah. And so it is irritable. And if that hip moved the wrong way or too fast one way or another, then yeah, it could be painful. But I tried to figure out like where do I want to start? You know, for one, it's a reason why my behind should be in the house on this dang on Sabbath, because it's pretty outside, and even though I stay in a beautiful neighborhood, it's still people that don't act beautiful. Yeah. So, I mean, they was just honking horns because somebody trying to park and somebody trying to get out of the parking lot. I want to see what's on this tree. I just want to see, is this a fruit or are these flowers? It's looking like fruit. But it's not. It's just some pretty flowers. I don't even feel like flipping my own camera to show. Okay. It's gonna it's gonna take a minute for me to get into it, because y'all just wouldn't believe how deep my story is. So the first thing that I want to share and talk about is how I survived a 7-year extremely VIO tent, you know what I'm saying, or DA, domestic. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not say, but that's the gist of it. So before I get into the story of that, I want to give you just a little bit of my background so you can see how part of how I ended up where I ended up. So first things first, I don't know who my real father is. I have I have two men to this day that believe they are my father. I have one that he believed me my father. I spoke to him last year about this after I had not speaking to him for like a year. And he asked, why I ghosted him. And I said, because for real, I don't even feel like you my real dad. Like, both my grandmas told me on their deathbeds and around their death time, and even when they was alive, my aunties, my uncles, a lot of people were telling me that, you're not my real dad. And then on the other hand, I have another guy who he believed that he's my dad. I believe he's my dad too, but we just ain't, neither one of us has been able to get up the money to get the test done, by the time that we really wanted to try to get the test done, I am a single mom at that time, taking care of 2 kids, and they were like around 4 and 5. So I did have a father figure in my life. for about, I want to say maybe I tell you the truth, I can't even tell you how long. I have to do the counting. But I want to say it was probably from like 2nd or 3rd grade on up to 5th grade or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, he was more someone on the positive side. He was in the military, so yes, he was stern. But I mean, he did like take us to the park when we were in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So he did a little daughter time. He adopted us, but really only adopted by name at that time my younger sister. And so my younger sister grew up thinking that was her real dad. But anyways, so that's on that too. And it's the reason why I'm telling you all this. Just go with me. We're gonna let this loud motorcycle go by. So my mother, she had me when she was 16. Her mother was married to a pastor. They wanted to have an abortion. She wasn't gonna do it, so she ran away. And yeah, she was 16 with a baby, out here in these streets. And my mama light skinned, so she had that light skin privilege. She was fine, you know what I'm saying? It was in the 80s because I was born in 85, so that was back in the day. Tag team back again, freak meets, and you know what I'm saying? It just remind me of this book that I read. I think it's by Tracy Morgan. How you doing? Called Fly Girl. And it just give me those type of vibes of what I envision how her life was. So me and my mama, we never really had a close-knit relationship. Don't really have too many memories. Like I said, a lot of them I blocked out, or when I would have dreams about stuff, I would ask her, like, did this happen? She'd be like, girl, no. Or I said, did this happen? She'd be like, oh yeah, But yeah, my whole childhood was a really big blur. So when you have that in the beginning, you can only imagine like what kind of chaos and corruption that a woman could turn into. A mama that ain't paying her no attention, almost like Nunu mama, she ain't never home, cause she either working, and then when she wasn't working, she was at her dude's house. You know what I'm saying? So I was the oldest at that time. By that time, of 4 girls, so I'm holding it down in the house or whatever like that. Another story. But basically, I know now, but I didn't understand it years ago, that that the way you was raised up, right, you're gonna either be exactly like it or the complete opposite. And I knew off from the jump that I wanted to be the complete opposite of what my mother was. My mother was strong, and so she taught me how to be strong. And she also taught me how to be independent, not looking for no man to do for you like that. But so that's just to give you like a little insight to how I ended up choosing my mates. Now, I do want to say for the record also that I know that I got saved when I was 10. That's when I started believing in, and I used to call him Jesus, but I know him as Yeshua now. So God was looking out for me my whole life. He really was. Because first of all, I'm not even supposed to be here because my mother's mother and husband at the time wanted to abort me. So he put that rebellious spirit in my mom enough to make her run away to where, she didn't have to abort me. So I know I said that I was going to start this off with how I survived a 7-year DA marriage. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? No. Let them know how you really feel. So I was talking about how me and my mother were, and since, she was pretty much like the most positive person that I had around me, besides my grandma and my great granny. Like, those was like soulmates to me. Like, I just fit right in with them. And but of course, that happened when I got older. But I knew at a early age that I was lacking something in the parental field, because I didn't like a lot of stuff that was going on. I didn't understand a lot that was going on. And so it made me realize that, yeah, something may be off. But when I pick back up on this story, we're going to go a little bit more deeper into my youth, because it's exactly the reason why I did a lot of things that I did. And it's important, because if I realized it, you can too. So, until next time, when we meet again, I will add on to a bit of my history, and then we'll dive right on in to the topic at hand.